The United States and Iran have signed a preliminary agreement aimed at ending their war. It was signed at the Palace of Versailles, but a follow-up ceremony in Switzerland has already fallen apart. Here are the day's developments. On June 18th, President Donald Trump and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed a 14-point memorandum of understanding at Versailles. Pakistan's Prime Minister also signed, as the mediator between the two sides. The text promises to end military operations on all fronts and to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. A second signing was scheduled 2 days later near Lake Lucerne in Switzerland, where Vice President J.D. Vance was set to formalize the deal. That event did not happen. Iran withdrew amid a flare-up in violence between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Why it matters. The Strait of Hormuz carries much of the world's oil and gas. An interim agreement could ease global energy markets, but the collapsed Switzerland round shows the deal remains fragile. How outlets are framing it. CNN described the Versailles signing as a mad dash, portraying it as an impulsive move by a president eager to end the conflict. Fox News emphasized Iran's stark warning over the deal and framed the halted Switzerland trip around questions of Tehran's reliability. NPR published the full text and focused on what the preliminary terms do and do not commit each side to. Ukraine has carried out one of its largest drone attacks of the war, setting fire to the Moscow oil refinery in the Kapotnya district, a site that supplies roughly 40% of Moscow's fuel. The strikes temporarily halted flights at 4 Moscow airports. Russian-installed authorities in occupied Crimea said at least 4 people were killed in related attacks on oil facilities and suspended civilian gasoline sales as the summer travel season began. President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed strikes on an oil depot in Kerch and a fuel transport facility in Krasnodar. Why it matters. Ukraine is systematically targeting the fuel and oil revenue that sustain Russia's war effort. How outlets are framing it. Fox News described the refinery scene as pure hell and highlighted the scale of the strike. Al Jazeera and the Moscow Times focused on the fuel crisis for residents and the disruption to Russian supply routes. Colombians went to the polls Sunday in a presidential runoff. The two candidates offer sharply different approaches to the country's armed groups, with reporting describing the frontrunner as favoring intensified military action over continued peace talks. Results are still pending. Why it matters. The outcome will shape Colombia's security policy and its strategy toward armed groups for years to come. The trigger for Iran's withdrawal from the Switzerland ceremony was a renewed flare-up between Israel and Hezbollah. Reporting cited a series of Israeli drone strikes and air raids across southern Lebanon. One outlet's running tally put the cumulative death toll since early March in the thousands, a figure that has not been independently confirmed across multiple outlets, so we're reporting it as a single-source claim, not a settled fact. Why it matters. The violence is destabilizing the region at the exact moment diplomats are trying to lock in the U.S.-Iran agreement. Those are the day's developments. We'll keep following each of these stories as they unfold.